So this browser history, right? React router DOM will provide you that. Okay. So it will have all the history. So even you can have a bookmark option. You will have the history backward, forward, everything. You will have it. React router will take that functionality. It will use that browser history API because based on what route we have configured, right? So you're hitting that URL. Based on that URL, I have said that if this URL has been hit, then this component should be rendered, right? In history, it's like you will have the option of a bookmark, backward, forward. History is like that. Okay. So if you are directly jumping into some URL, then of course it will work. Unless if it is not, if you have put the authentication, then it will ask you to authenticate yourself. Okay, so now if we can see here, I can directly go to CRUD. So I was telling that I can directly jump localhost 3000 contact also. It's possible. I do have some parameters over there which I need to run. Okay, let's say I can hit CRUD. See, directly I can jump. Now let's say products 1 I can go directly. Products can go like this. So it will match the route, and based on that, if routes get matched, then it will render that component. So now let me just open MongoDB and Node.js API. I'll run it. So my API got started. You can see the browsers, right? Okay. So now let's go to CRUD app. So you can see I'm getting the data. Okay. My Node.js APIs are running on 3000, and this also is running on 3000. Let me change the port. Okay, so now when we go to CRUD app, you can see it is loading, right? Do inspect and in this array. So as many times I refreshed it, that many times we got the array. This is a warning because I maybe have not written key. Okay, so let me clear this and refresh once again. So you can see we've got the, you can see the network as well. We are getting it 200 response. In this way, I had. Do you know how to import a static JSON file and how to use it in? You can either import it on data and you had imported it and then you had used it, right? Or else you can
Yes, right.
that path you can use it here also. Yeah, let's say if you don't have a database or you don't have a backend, then you can have the static data. So do one thing, use that URL over here, okay? And on add also, what you can do, you can have an empty array. You can keep on pushing the data into that empty array, right? So you can do in that way. So let's say what you can do is you can, when you're importing the JSON, so you can have initial state, you can write initial equal to that imported JSON. That imported JSON, let's say that's an array of object like this. So here you can put the initial state like this. Then if you want to add the data every time, okay, let me have the initial state over here. I want to push the data into this. So what you can do, you can think like it, you are making a API call only. You can give the path. You can pass the object like this. Okay. So as soon as you pass the object, whatever response you will be getting, you just update this data. So you can write data dot push response here. Okay, so the data will be pushed to that array of JSON. Okay, in JSON array, and then you refresh the list as soon as the data is pushed, right? So employee list should be called again, right? So this thing you need to do it. Now I'll be showing react.memo hook. So it's very easy. You just need to wrap your component with react.hook. So you can see I have a header, I have a footer as well, right? Am I displaying footer there? I'm showing nowhere, right? Okay, let me remove this thing which I'm not using at all. So now let's go to home component. I think by default home component is getting displayed. I have this header. The header. I'll show the footer as well. Now let's see whether we are getting the footer or not. We are getting the footer and we are getting the header as well. So this is a header, right? So let me give some HR there, HR tag. This is my header, this is my footer. You can consider this as a content which will get replaced, right? So see here when we go to reactjs.org, okay, see the header and footer is there over here, right? So it's fixed, header and footer is fixed. You can see talks. Whatever I click, header and footer will remain same. But if you see here, I'll just write a console log in header and footer. Console log header, console log footer, and even I'll keep it in add employee, list employee, because these two components we are using there. Inspect the element. Here you can see for the very first time you can see I'm getting list also, and I am getting header also, I'm getting footer also, I'm getting add also, right? Let me remove rest of the things. We have a header, add list, and footer we have it, right? So this list got called again because when we got data, got re-rendered, right? Now let's say here in my this app component, I'll make changes, okay? So this home data is there, right? So I'll write, okay, let me have this toggle, and here we'll set. I want to display this. So what I'll do, just below the HR, I'll write it here. This dot state dot, and I will write one button also which will change the data. So let's have on click the toggle function name, right? Done. So now let's go ahead and check the output. You can see header add list got called, right? So now where is my button? Yeah, it's here. So you can see welcome to homepage is there and toggle is also there. Now I'll clear this off and then I'll make changes here. See, when I change, okay, I'm still getting this header, add, list, and footer. You can imagine header and footer is same. It will remain same for the entire application. In very rare situation, header and footer will be changed. But change unnecessary re-rendering is actually expensive, right? Why to again render header and footer? And even add, why to render it? Okay, to avoid unnecessary re-rendering. Okay, so you can leave the list. Okay, for the very first time it will render Okay, even if the data has not come, then it will render back again, right? So you can leave this, but this header and footer will remain same, right? So what we can do to avoid this unnecessary re-rendering, we can use react.memo. So here, what I will do, I will wrap this like this. You can import memo from React library, or you can directly use react.memo like this. And here also I'll be using react.memo. It is like it will memorize your component, okay, and it will avoid unnecessary re-rendering. Okay, it has been refreshed. Okay, let me refresh again. Done. So it has been refreshed. So now what I will do is click on this toggle and see, only add and list has been called. Header and footer is not called, right? So this is because of react.memo. So these things we keep it for header and footer because it is not going to change. Even in the application, if you have chat box, right, on the right hand side below, you'll have a chat box that also you can write. So we can use react.memo to avoid unnecessary re-rendering.